Hey, silent fighter. Yes, you. The one who smiles in daylight but battles invisible wars at night. The one who's been fighting demons no one else can see. You've been strong for too long, and now your mind feels like the enemy. There are two battles we face in life, one with the world and one within our own minds. The deadliest is the one inside your mind. External situations may cause pain, but your thoughts keep it alive. You could be sitting in a calm room with no enemies and no danger, and still feel fear, regret, anger, and shame. Why? Because the battlefield is in your head. You've had days when everything seems fine outside, but your mind attacks relentlessly. A single negative thought grows like poison. I'm not good enough. I always mess things up. They don't really like me. These thoughts start small, but if you don't control them, they spiral and take over your identity. This is where Stoicism becomes your weapon. Ancient Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca lived through wars, slavery, exile, and betrayal. They discovered what most modern people never realize. You cannot control the world, but you can always control how you respond. As Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Let that sink in. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to control everything. You just need to respond instead of react. You are not your negative thoughts. You are the observer. And if you are the observer, you can choose how long they stay. This video is not for someone seeking 5 minutes of comfort. This is for the warrior ready to stop living under the weight of their own mind. For the person tired of the voice saying, "You're not enough." In the next 6 lessons, we will break down the most brutal mental traps feeding your negative thinking and show you exactly how Stoic philosophy destroys them. So don't just watch this video, study it. Every section builds on the last. Before we begin, drop this affirmation in the comments. I am stronger than my negative thoughts. Let it be your vow to live aware, resilient, and unstoppable. Like this video, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe if you're ready to rewire your mind. Each lesson builds on the last, so don't skip a second. Your mind is the battlefield, and it's time to reclaim it. Number 1, you are not your thoughts. Let's start with the most powerful truth. You are not your thoughts. At first, this may sound strange, because we are often taught that every thought defines us. But think carefully. How many random, unsettling, or painful thoughts pass through your mind each day? If all of those truly defined you, your identity would change constantly. Stoicism teaches a simple yet life-changing principle. Your mind has 2 parts: what happens and how you respond. Negative thoughts will come. That's natural. What matters is what you do with them. As Epictetus wisely said, it isn't events themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. A thought like "I failed," "I'm not enough," "they left me" only causes suffering if you believe it. Otherwise, it is just noise. Imagine seeing a dark cloud in the sky. You don't panic or scream because it might rain. You observe, prepare if needed, and move on. That's exactly how you should treat negative thoughts. Acknowledge them. Detach. Let them pass. Most people make the mistake of letting thoughts become identity. I felt anxious, so I must be anxious. I had a negative thought about my relationship, so it's doomed. This is false. Thoughts are suggestions, not commands. Picture your mind like a radio. Just because a song plays, you don't have to dance to it. Learn to change the station. A powerful Stoic exercise is writing down disturbing thoughts and examining them like a judge. Ask yourself, is this 100% true? What is the evidence? What would Marcus Aurelius say? Will this matter in 5 years? Often you'll see the thought had no real weight. It only felt heavy. Another technique is labeling your thoughts instead of owning them. Don't say, "I am a failure." Say, "I am having a thought that I failed." This creates a mental gap. In that space, you gain control. Remember, you are not your thoughts. You are the sky, and thoughts are clouds passing through. Observe them. Respond with clarity. detach. And to anchor this in your mind, drop this in the comments. I am the sky. Thoughts are just clouds. Make it your vow to live aware, calm, and unshakable. Number 2, stop arguing with reality. Negative thinking thrives when you resist what already is. Life will throw things you don't like: failures, betrayals, missed opportunities, broken plans. And most people immediately fight reality. They wish it were different, complain, blame, or replay events in their mind. But here's the Stoic truth. Suffering doesn't come from what happens, it comes from arguing with what is. Epictetus said, "Do not seek to have events happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do, and you will be happy." Acceptance is power. Resistance is weakness. Imagine standing in the rain. You can scream, curse, and stomp, wishing the rain would stop. Or you can accept that you're wet, adjust, and keep moving forward. Which approach leaves you stronger, calmer, and more in control? Fighting reality doesn't change it. It only gives your thoughts power over you, fueling fear, regret, and anger. Every time you replay the past, every if only or why me, you drain your mental energy and chain yourself to suffering. Amore fati, love of fate, is the Stoic practice of embracing reality exactly as it is, even when it hurts, because the event itself is outside your control, but your response is always yours. Think of a moment when everything seemed to go wrong: a failed exam, a lost job, or a relationship ending. Your negative mind screams, "I am worthless. I always fail." A Stoic mind sees it differently. This is a moment, not a life sentence. What lesson does it hold? How can I respond with strength? Acceptance doesn't mean pretending the pain doesn't exist. It means acknowledging reality, letting go of resistance, and reclaiming your energy to act wisely. Here's a practical tool. Whenever your mind says, "This shouldn't have happened," stop. Say out loud, "It did happen. Now what can I do?" That shift flips your power back on. You stop being a victim and start being the author of your life again. Peace doesn't come from having perfect circumstances. It comes from mastering your mind, embracing reality, and responding with clarity, calm, and focus. Drop this affirmation in the comments now. I accept reality and I grow from it. Let it anchor your mind and remind you that no matter what happens, you remain unshakable, strong, and in control. Number 3, don't trust the first emotion. Your first emotion is almost never your final truth. Anger, fear, jealousy, sadness. These are reactions, loud and messy, and they rarely tell the whole story. Most people make a deadly mistake by trusting the first feeling that arises, acting immediately, and letting it control their decisions. Stoicism teaches that the first emotion is a signal, not a command. It's a wave that crashes hard, but always passes. If you wait, observe, and reflect before acting, you gain clarity and control. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor under constant pressure, reminded himself to keep an untroubled spirit and to face every event clearly for what it is. Imagine a friend ignores your message. Your first thought might scream, "They don't care about me." If you immediately react, anger, resentment, or a harsh reply, you could damage the relationship. But if you pause, reflect, and consider other explanations, they were busy, ill, or simply forgot, you act with wisdom instead of emotion. Your choice determines your peace. Every moment you resist reacting blindly, you strengthen your mind. A practical Stoic exercise is naming your emotion when it arises. Say, "I feel anger, but that doesn't mean I am right." Or, "I feel fear, but that doesn't mean I'm in danger." Emotions are signals, not truths. Another tool is the view from above. Mentally zoom out and observe your life from a distance, as if from space. What once felt catastrophic, the argument, the embarrassment, the betrayal, shrinks. Perspective kills unnecessary pain. Delay is your ally. Repeat this phrase silently whenever you feel the first surge of emotion. I pause. I observe. I choose my response. This small practice has saved careers, relationships, and, most importantly, peace of mind. Stoicism doesn't make you emotionless. It makes you strong enough to refuse being enslaved by fleeting feelings. Drop this affirmation in the comments now. I pause. I choose. I do not react blindly. Let it anchor your mind. Every time you practice this, you train yourself to respond with clarity, wisdom, and calm. Your emotions remain human, but your mind remains unshakable. Number 4, the stories you tell yourself create your pain. Most of the time, it's not the situation itself that breaks you. It's the story you tell yourself about it. You get rejected and your mind screams, "They never liked me. I'll always be alone." You make a mistake at work and your mind shouts, "I'm a failure. I'm not capable." This is the trap. You confuse facts with interpretations, reality with narrative. Stoicism teaches that suffering comes not from events, but from how you interpret them. Marcus Aurelius captured this perfectly. If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Pause and consider that. It's not the rejection, the silence, the failure, or the delay that hurts most. It's the meaning your mind assigns to it. And most of those meanings are false stories, built from fear, insecurity, or past trauma. Your boss replies shortly, and you assume they hate you. A friend doesn't call, and you assume you are unvalued. You miss a target, and your mind declares that you'll never succeed. But what if none of that is true? What if these are just interpretations, not facts? The most powerful Stoic tool is separating the raw event from the story your mind tells. Here's how to do it. Step 1, write down exactly what happened, just the facts. Step 2, write down the story your mind created about it. Step 3, challenge that story. Ask, do I know this is 100% true? Is there another possible explanation? Have I ever misjudged similar situations before? Often, simply doing this exercise shows that your thoughts are not reality. They're just mental noise. Here's the Stoic mindset. Bad things happen, but they do not define you. You define the meaning of what happens. Your mind can either heal or harm you. You are the editor of the story your brain tells. A wise editor does not let false narratives go to print. When your thoughts spiral, pause, investigate, and rewrite. You are not the pain. You are the author, rewriting the page of your life with clarity, calm, and control. Drop this affirmation in the comments now. I control the story. I choose peace over panic. Let it anchor your mind. Every time you practice this, you train yourself to separate fact from fiction, reality from story, and to reclaim power over your emotions. Number 5, you're tired, not broken. Sometimes negative thinking doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It just means you're tired, not only physically, but emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually. And when you are exhausted, everything feels heavier than it truly is. You misread messages. You overanalyze decisions. You assume others are against you. Your mind becomes a storm, not because you are weak, but because your energy is drained. The Stoics understood this deeply. They didn't only teach mindset, they emphasized preserving your energy. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not from the thing itself, but from your estimate of it. And this, he said, you have the power to revoke at any moment. But how can you revoke that pain if you haven't rested? If you haven't slept, paused, or given yourself space to breathe? Too many people try to think their way out of mental storms. Stoicism teaches that what you often need is recovery, not more thoughts. Negative thinking intensifies when you're sleep-deprived, undernourished, overexposed to social media and noise, or overwhelmed by constant pressure. Your mind isn't broken, it's exhausted. You don't need to fix it every time it feels stormy. Sometimes the solution is simple. Step back, breathe, and refill your energy. Stoicism is not about being a machine. It's about being rational, responsible, and strategic with your energy. Even Epictetus, a master of discipline, reminded students, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. When your mind is tired, full, and overrun, growth and clarity are impossible. So give yourself the gift of rest. Sleep early tonight. Take a quiet walk outside without your phone. Say no to one thing that drains you. Write down your worries and step away. You are not broken. You are overrun. Stop treating exhaustion like weakness. Treat it as a signal to pause, to recover, to refill. Negative thoughts often disappear, not because you fought them, but because you stopped running on empty. Your mind is strongest when your energy is replenished, calm, and steady. Drop this affirmation in the comments now. I am not broken. I am just resting. Let it anchor your mind. Every time you repeat it, you reclaim control over your energy, your thoughts, and your peace. Number 6, gratitude kills negativity. This one might surprise you, but gratitude is not just positive thinking. It is a weapon, a powerful tool that destroys the roots of negative thought. Why? Because gratitude forces you to see what is real, not just what is missing. When your mind is stuck in negativity, it creates tunnel vision. Nothing seems to work out. Everyone is doing better than me. Life feels unfair. But the moment you name what is actually going right, that tunnel begins to crack open. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Most negative thinking is rooted in lack, a feeling that something is missing. Gratitude reminds you that you already have so much. This is not about ignoring problems or pretending everything is okay. It is about balancing your perspective. In your lowest moments, ask yourself, what am I taking for granted right now? What do I have today that I once wished for? Who is still around me that I once feared losing? Write it down, one simple line. That's all it takes to start shifting your mindset. For example, you feel lost in your career. That feeling is real, but maybe you are healthy, safe, fed, and learning something every day. Your relationship is struggling, but perhaps you've discovered your own strength, your boundaries, and your self-worth. Gratitude is not a fake smile or a lie that everything is perfect. It is looking life in the face and saying, yes, this hurts, but I still choose to see what is here. The deeper truth is that negative thinking grows in the soil of forgetfulness. When you forget your blessings, your wins, your survival stories, you fall into the illusion that life is only pain. Gratitude clears that soil. It reminds you of the foundation of what you already have. You do not need to wait for the perfect moment to feel better. You do not need external validation or accomplishments. Just name the things, big or small, that are already present. This small daily practice rewires your mind over time. It transforms the way your brain responds to setbacks, failures, and disappointments. Here's a simple ritual. Each morning or evening, write down 3 things you are grateful for. Just 3. That act alone forces your mind to notice reality instead of obsessing over loss. Over time, it builds resilience, emotional control, and clarity. Gratitude does not eliminate pain, but it transforms your perspective so that pain does not dominate your mind. When you feel negative thoughts creeping in, pause, breathe, and ask yourself, what am I grateful for right now? That single question pulls your mind out of the spiral. Drop this affirmation in the comments now. I see my blessings. I am grateful. I choose perspective over panic. Let it anchor your mind. Practice this daily and watch as negativity loses its grip, and your mind becomes stronger, calmer, and unshakable. Every morning or night, take a moment and write down 3 small things you're grateful for. Not big, not complicated, just small anchors that remind you of what's real. A deep breath, a warm meal, a memory that makes you smile, a person who cares, a gentle wind on your face. Do this consistently and you'll notice something incredible. The ache in your chest starts to loosen. The fog in your head begins to clear. Gratitude is not just a nice thought, it's armor against the storm inside your mind. If you've made it this far, understand this. By simply being aware, you've already begun killing negative thinking. Awareness is the first cut, and Stoicism gives you the tools to deepen it. You are not your thoughts, you are the observer. You don't have to argue with reality. You can accept, respond, and grow. Your first emotion is not always truth. Pause, reflect, choose. The stories your mind tells are just stories. They do not define you. Rewrite them. Clean your environment to clean your mind. Feeling tired doesn't mean you're broken. Sometimes rest is the medicine. And above all, gratitude is your secret weapon against darkness. Marcus Aurelius faced loss, betrayal, and stress unimaginable to most of us, yet he wrote every day to train his mind toward peace. So train yours too, silently, strongly, consistently. You don't have to be loud. You don't need approval. Just show up for your mind and your life will start to transform. If no one told you today, you're doing better than you think. Not because life is perfect, but because you are aware. And from awareness, everything can change. This is how you kill negative thinking, not with force, but with daily clarity, inner silence, and stoic power. If this video helped you, like it to help more people see it, comment your favorite point or quote. Share this with someone who needs peace, and subscribe, because together we are building unshakable stoic minds. Final affirmation for the comments. My mind is my strongest weapon.